And a very warm welcome back to you and to the Intel Extreme Masters here in Taipei City, where things are really heating up now. Our final game of the day and of the round of 16. That's right, Group D comes to a close, and with it, our quarterfinals will be set. Let's show you where we are right now in Group D with the bracket. We have had a bit of a surprise in the lower half. Hydra coming through 2-0, no less, against True. So unfortunately, the curse of True seems to be carrying on. He still hasn't been able to get out of the round of 16 at an Intel Extreme Masters.
It's not a surprise. It's only a surprise for Apollo.
Yeah, that might well be true. It does leave us with our final game of the day being Hydra versus Maru, passing already through, of course, to the round of 8. If you missed the interview at the end of the last segment, then make sure you check it out on the VOD systems because it's well worth a watch. He is as entertaining as ever. Back on the panel with me are Todd, Kalaris and Susie as we head into our last game. The 7 players that we have, Kalaris, so far in this quarterfinal, and regardless of whoever goes through between Hydra and Maru now, is fit for would grace any GSL round of 8, any World Championship round of 8. It is truly stacked beyond belief.
Yeah, I think if Maru actually goes through, then it's not only like a GSL top round of 8, but it's like a dream GSL top round of 8, where every name is extremely relevant, every name is a big fan favorite. So far, this is looking pretty amazing.
This would be like something at a BlizzCon already. Yeah. It's like a preview, basically, of a BlizzCon kind of thing. Yeah, like you said, that interview with Parting was probably the best that we've had this entire week so far. That was a lot of fun. Now, it's funny. Okay, so it's Hydra and Maru. What's funny is that Parting had actually said if he does not lose to Hydra, he can make first in the group. While Hydra was saying Parting is the one that he was scared of, but not Maru at all. So it's kind of funny listening to both these players say that Maru was not that big of a threat. Yet we had Maru here going, I'm going to win it all. Yeah. So just kind of see where these cards are falling. You know?
Let's talk about that. How damaging is that to Maru, having lost those 2 games? I mean, sure, okay, the proxy cheesy stuff in the second game. Kind of, we've seen this before from him. He's a bit flippant. He sort of loses the first game and thinks, oh, well, I'll just go all in then and see if I can make it 1-1. Parting read that right out of the bat. He knew that was coming. So does it affect him? Doesn't it affect him? How does he head into the game against Hydra?
Obviously, he can't be too happy about what happened, but the thing is, it's another matchup. It's like a brand new match. It's another chance here that he has to go into the next round. So I don't think he's going to have that on mind at all, going to this match against Hydra. The thing is, Hydra seems to be very confident against Zerg and Terran. Katz tweeted that Hydra is confident against both of these races. It's really against Protoss that he lacks confidence. So El Capitan is rarely wrong. Even though Maru has been impressive against Zerg, I'm really starting to feel something here for Hydra. The thing is, we need a Terran in this round of 8, and Maru is the guy that can deliver.
We don't have one. Not only that, I was just looking through the statistics. Admittedly, we don't have many Terrans here at this Intel Extreme Masters, but they've only won 1 map against a Protoss the entire tournament, so that's not particularly good form as it is. And they're behind against Zergs as well. They're only on 46% win rate. So is it the map pool that's hurting Terrans, or is it just the 3 that we've got here just haven't played very well?
I'm not really too sure. I think the new maps that they've played on, I don't think they really don't favor Terran at all. It's not like they're really bad for them. I haven't played too much Terran on them myself, so I can't really say from that perspective. But coming into Maru versus Hydra, I think what Hydra's going to have to be very careful about is the idea of Maru just being the calm, confident Maru that he is and just using very, very early aggression to try and catch him off guard, because that's what Maru likes to do a lot of. I don't think he, as much as it sounds strange, I'll phrase it like this, but I don't mean it like this. He doesn't have much respect for anyone, so just is very, very aggressive against them, and he thinks that his control and his ability to put on that aggression well is going to win him through.
He's never lost in an official match to Hydra either. Is that going to play a part here in the confidence for him? Possibly,
only if Hydra lets it get to his head, but I don't think it should be the case. If he's, if he's mentally prepared well enough, then I
was going to ask you, actually, as a pro gamer, would you go on statistics sites like a Ligulac and Liquipedia and check your form against players when you came up to them, or would it not bother you?
Usually you use your memory to kind of, reminisce.
Those ones that hurt really badly, you remember them,
Yeah,
I remember the defeat against MC at home story. I'm sure you still do. See, that's how it works though, right? It actually does cut into you at some point. You remember it from that alone, don't you?
The thing is, usually you can remember most of your losses better than your wins too.
Sure.
So and
But you also learn more from them, surely.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, almost every time that I went to a player and asked them, "Did you know that you had these stats against these guys?" They almost never said yes. So I guess I'm not the only one.
Apart from parting.
Except for Parting, who said
Yeah.
he's never lost to Maru, even though he did lose to him twice, but he was just like, no, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they don't. Losses.
that out.
But you would
losses-
say that about anybody.
Losses don't hurt Parting. They don't cut him deep. Susie, what can you give us in terms of Hydra? Who is he?
Well,
What sort of personality?
Hydra has been, I've seen him, he doesn't really mingle with the other players as much. Did you know, here's a little fun fact, that his right eye, when he was a child, he got into a really bad accident and he can't see very well out of his right eye.
Wow.
So his vision is actually kind of all left eye oriented.
Wow.
Yeah, so a little tidbit of information about Hydra, guys.
That'll be on Wikipedia before you can say Liquipedia.
Seriously.
Susie
but-
facts.
Susie facts. So I was talking, when we were talking about that. Yeah, like I said before, he's not fearing Maru at all. He came in here. What he had told me, though, that he wants to play against Hero. CJ Hero, since he was on CJ Entis before, and he said that, I've never really gotten to play versus him in a tournament setting. We've practiced a lot. I've lost a lot to him. But I think, coming out somewhere like this, it would be amazing to be able to play against him on a big stage. So I think maybe he's got that in mind when he's out here playing against Maru.
Yeah. WCS, of course, for Hydra, round of 32, ahead of him. So potentially could pick up an awful lot of points early on in the year, and we know what happens when players pick up a lot of points in WCS early on in the year. Hyun last year, MC last year, both of them ended up going to BlizzCon, maybe not in the best form of their lives at that time, but the start of their year, first 3 months, was terrific in terms of points collecting. Hydra's in a good position to do that as well.
Yeah, definitely. With the potential competition that he has in WCS across the regions, now that it's all conglomerated into one, I think he's got a really good shot at placing very highly there. But not only that, being en route now and having the opportunity to play in the foreign scene so much means we're probably going to see a lot of him at the extra international events that are coming up, which are giving a lot of WCS points as well. So he's definitely going to be earning a lot this year.
He's one of the few players that's playing. He's in WCS NA.
With the standard. It's
with the standard.
one region.
Sorry,
now.
he's
in
not
WCS.
Korean. He's not Asia.
It's just GSL and WCS now, and he's in WCS. So
he's not over in the Korea dominated area.
He's a Europe. He's a foreign Korean.
Okay, that makes sense. He's a foreign Korean.
There's basically 4 of them, and they're all going to do really well.
Yes.
So, he is doing very well there. I would like to see how he fares with players in Asia.
He actually kind of became the new Hyun in his own regard, because he's been playing a ton of online cups. He lives in America over at the Root House. He won 7 Gfinity Cup in a row. He won some Go 4. He's been playing everything that's on. And Hearthstone, I was actually staying at the Root House, and he told me that he explained to Hydra what ZvT Cup was, and Hydra, instead of saying anything, he just had this big smile just growing like, money!
That's it now. We'll see him in Go 4 Cups and God knows what else over the next few weeks. But yeah, good stuff. Right, so last game of the day. It's been a very fast day, actually. All of the games have been 2-0s in all of the games in Group C and Group D. Are we going to get another one? And if so, which way is it going, Colaris?
Going to have to go 2-0 Maru, I think. I've got a lot of confidence in Maru in this matchup.
Anything in particular? Any particular reason why? Or
because I think he's aggressively awesome.
Aggressively awesome. I like that.
Aggressively
Susie,
awesome.
what are you going with? I'll head here.
I think I haven't picked Maru at all today, but I will go with Heart. I want Hydra to make it through.
Okay.
Let's say Hydra 2-1.
Your heart really doesn't like Maru, does it?
You know what? I think I just don't like Terran.
Oh.
Wow.
Sorry, Maynard.
Okay, get out now, Susie. Get out.
Okay, sorry. I'll make my exit now.
Maynard is so pissed.
I've never seen him more angry, actually.
He's a Patriots fan. I really don't care.
No, actually, he's a Terran and a Patriots fan. He couldn't be worse. Susie is totally, actually, the opposite end of him.
I'm so torn about this one.
Really?
My heart is definitely with Hydra. I love him to death, but I want a Terran at the same time to advance for the tournament. I'm going to follow my heart this time and say Terran's going to go extinct. They've done well enough in the past.
Calm down, jeez.
All right.
Get rid of
Hydra 2-1.
Brutal. Okay. Well, the last surviving Terran is in action in our last surviving game of the round of 16. Do we get one through, or will it be Protoss and Zergs dominating with 4 apiece? Let's find out in our final game of Group D with the commentary team of Maynard and Apollo.
G'day guys, welcome back. It is the last best of 3 for the day, Apollo. Sad, but we're going to be having ourselves a pretty sick TVZ coming up with Maru facing Hydra. Who goes on to the last round of 8? I'm saying it's going to be Maru 2-0 as well.
I have to agree with you. I'm very surprised that some of the analysis over there was pointing towards Hydra. As much as I want to believe upsets are awesome, it would be an upset.
Fast Fact Susie over there hasn't picked a single correct winner this entire day. And, I mean, you can follow Scoozy at ScumbagSE2 on Twitter for all of your needs. She's quite opinionated towards certain races and certain teams in the NFL, and that's fine. In the bottom left here, or sorry, in the far left position here on Catalina, the root player. This is Hydra.
Uphill battle.
Indeed. Against this guy. In the bottom right position of Catalina, we have got Janez Maru. Maru, I mean, it wasn't that long ago when he played True, and I'm still got head spins from watching that game, man. That was a bopping, to say the least.
I mean, it's very funny the way that, you know, Maru's had his group today, because against True, he looked unstoppable.
Yep.
And then, you know, he looked the complete opposite against Parting. So coming into this one, hopefully he goes back to how he played against True and displays as what he's very capable of. But Hydra is going to know, at least through teammates, through friends, how Maru approached the first series, and he's already approaching it differently again here. He's opened up with an 11 barracks and 11 gas, so we are going to see the more older style of 3 group openings compared to the 2, and we saw Maru's control earlier, and it was pretty deadly.
And scary to watch. Pretty inspiring stuff from Maru in that game. Now, talk a bit more about this matchup. I mean, Hydra is pretty good. He's pretty good ZvT, but in all fairness, the Terrans he's been beating lately aren't really the caliber of Maru, although he has beaten Gumiho recently, which is a pretty big win. Gumiho has an amazing TVZ. It is mech orientated. Maru generally much more aggressive, generally bio.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'd like to think that in this matchup, at this level, the better player will win. So you really have to play your heart out if you're going to win this series to move on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah. I'm so happy to watch this happen, man. TVZ is my favorite matchup, has been for a very long time. Even since Wings of Liberty was my favorite matchup to watch and to play. So what better than the best of the best? And it really is the best of the best here at Intel Extreme Masters in Taipei.
Yeah.
It was quite right. I mean, if Maru goes through, that is like that's a dream GSL group. That's a dream round of 8 for most people. But I'm sure for Mr. El Capitan, we were talking about it a bit before, he would like to see his dream round of 8 to involve Hydra.
I'm sure he would, but it's, as mentioned, it's not going to be easy. Maru's going to open up, by the looks of it, with 3 Reapers. A very strong choice considering the map here. Lots of open space, and by the looks of it, we're going to see a bunker to assist these Reapers.
Looks like it. This is a little bit out of the ordinary, but I guess if you're going to make a bunch of Reapers...
No, he's just going to use the SCV with the Reaper here. It looked like he was positioned to set up here, but lots of space, lots of maneuverability for these guys.
Yeah, you're not really in range of anything. A better spot, if you were going to make a bunker, is to put it on the ramp, but yeah, he's just using the SCV to buffer a little bit here. The Lings are out, and he's macroing around. The SCV getting caught a little bit by the drones, but all the units are alive for now, although the SCV needs to get off creep. We'll live to tell the tale. So there's that 3rd Reaper on the way. You called it, Apollo. You've cast this game once or twice before.
Yeah, 11 barracks, 11 gas. A little bit faster. 3 Reapers to do as much damage as possible, but Zergling speed is on the way. So there's only a limited time where these guys can do damage until they'll have to retreat back and wait for the Hellion support.
That's right. Hellions are on the menu here. The factory going down, reactor as well. And the CC. All very standard stuff from Maru, apart from the 3 Reapers.
And 2 Lings try to get towards that command center, and they've actually snuck around. The Reaper's going to leave.
Okay.
Whoa, that shouldn't have happened there, because that Reaper was there for a reason. But one SCV, good.
He got an SCV pick, and these 2 Lings are already worth it. Even if they die with no more damage, they have certainly paid for themselves by getting that 1 SCV. Still delaying the CC by an extra couple seconds. Nice play here from Hero. The Reapers of Maru haven't done much yet.
No, and Zergling speed is almost complete.
Yeah, which means when it's done, they'll do nothing. Speedlings
they're already leaving, so...
Will happily deal with Reapers all day, yeah, exactly. Fast 3rd CC from Maru here. With the presence of Speedlings, this is a little bit dangerous to take, so he's probably just going to rally SCVs from that 3rd CC in the main. And just
I'd say
powering up
pretty solid so far for Hydra. Minimal losses and an SCV kill.
Very
pretty
nice.
impressive.
Now, Really fast armory here from Maru. Looks like we're going to be seeing that Hellbat push we were talking about a little bit earlier in the day. Very scary, very, well, I got to say, the Zergs are very used to it, though, these days.
They are, and we can even see it in this game. Hydra's used to this type of play, too. He's chosen a build that's pretty popular as of recent because of these types of pushes from Terran. And hold that thought, though.
Again, another Ling run by, snuck by the defense then of Maru, and he's denying even a mule here.
Very perfectly timed. As the Hellions and Reapers, the first set moved out, the Lings moved in. Unfortunately, didn't get any kills, but it was a very nice idea.
And he sees the armory.
Yeah. So now he knows that a spine crawler might be necessary, or some extra protection through a queen, or something along the lines. So he does start an extra queen.
Getting up the layers, about 3/4 of the way done. He's, let's just have a look at his gas bank here. It's not huge, but he has the potential to drop a Spire immediately if he wanted to.
Yeah, and Maru's going to see that the layers started as he pokes into the main base.
And it looks like a Spire is going to be the option here as he drops those extra couple gases. So this is that 2-base Muta style that's so many Zergs been using these days to counter the Hellbat push.
5 drone kills.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But not for the amount of units he lost there.
What? 6, 9 kills.
That's much better.
Right. When a Zerg player is on 2 bases like this, you are not meant to take any damage. Unfortunately, Hydra, who tried that counterattack earlier without getting much done, did sacrifice those Zerglings, which allowed then in return the Reapers to come in to get the kills, to start the ball rolling, and then the Hellions ran in and got even more kills. Excellent from Maru, and he also knows what he's playing against too. The armory's not been used because he knows it can't work against this 2-base Zerg because he's got queens and spines set up nicely.
Getting
he hasn't invested into it. It's a very nice adaptation, I guess, is the best way to say here from Maru.
Very nicely done. So 1-1 will be on the way for Maru. Going to go straight buyer for a little bit here. Switch over into Widowmine production along with Marines. Something that he's definitely used to doing. Loves just straight Marine with Widowmines. He still has a couple of Hellions, but they're just leftovers.
Well, the timing of the turrets looks like it should be spot on. It should be starting soon. He knows he's against the 2-base Slayer play. If he doesn't have the turrets on soon, he is going to get stung by the 8 Mutalisks that are coming out. So turrets will be important to start in the next few seconds.
That's right. And he knows it's 2-base Muta. He saw that Spire early with the Reapers that were doing all that damage. So I'm surprised we haven't seen any turrets. Not even one yet from Maru.
Yeah, he should have them timed up perfectly. He's a world-class player. He shouldn't be making minimal mistakes like that.
Just 2 turrets going up, and really, when you're making this Marines, that's kind of all you need at this point in the game. You've got, he's already got 14 out. He's making 5 at a time. Back at home, 3 CC, two reactors. He's well and truly powering into that bio production with the medevacs also joining the fray. And these Mutas actually got to be careful. Oh, God! Losing 1 Muta there. Nearly losing 2.
20 additional Lings have just been made here. If he gets a full wraparound.
Oh, here we go. Lots of Marines here. I'm not sure Hydra should be engaging this, Apollo.
Yeah, he didn't get the full wraparound at all.
Oh, Lings are kind of getting the job done, pushing him back, and the medevac does get picked off by the Mutas, which is a nice pickup. He lost a lot of Lings, but still some left over, and he forces the lift on the 3rd CC here. So nice move from Hydra so far.
Yeah, nice move. Lost a lot of his Mutalisks, though, which is a little bit dangerous, but he does keep Maru away from mining from that base for at least a couple of more seconds or so.
Coming into the mineral line, there is 1 turret to help out. Some buyer trying to help out as well, but the Mutalisks of Hydra are a little bit too quick here.
Very nice move, though. I did like... I would never say that was a bad move. I do like what Hydra did there. Build 20 Lings as Terran tries to take the 3rd base, slow them down from taking it while ramping up your own economy behind it. And he didn't even need to build drones at that point. His hatchery was nowhere near completed on his 3rd, so it was a perfect move right there. I actually kind of like that move.
Speaking of 3rds, Maru's been really knocked back from taking his for a little while. It's just been taken and secured now.
And a lot more Lings on the way. 26 being added on.
Baneling speed halfway done. 1-1 on the way. Already done for Maru.
Yeah. No Widowmines at all in play yet, so any type of Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk movement over could be a problem.
Upgrades looking... Oh, Maru's really getting the upgrade here. 2-2 already on the way for the Terran player with Combat Shield about to finish as well. There's going to be some strong bio units pretty shortly, Apollo. Another factory going down, so 2 factories.
Yeah.
Widowmine production has begun. It's just turning those last Hellions into Hellbats. Definitely going to help him out against these Lings. Some Banelings here, obviously don't have speed just yet, but only a couple seconds away from being complete. Oh, and Hydra hiding some Banelings, but Maru's found him out.
Yeah, that's nice to find those. They could have caused a lot of damage. There is no bunker yet until just now.
That's right.
And very fast replenishment of the creep tumors in the center of the map here by Hydra. Unfortunately, it's going to be greeted by a bunch of Marines, though.
And a couple of Hellbats to stay the course. Those creep tumors get cleaned up by Maru. The Queens get knocked back. He loses one, pays the ultimate price. Another Ling run by here. Hydra loves his run bys. They've been so good for him this game. Will it work this time at the third?
Well, there's no defense set up yet. Just those two Widowmines that are borrowed.
Those two Widowmines going to help against this ball of Lings. And there's this bunker to pull back onto as well. Ling's not doing too badly, but Maru does hold but lost 5 SCVs in the meantime. Oh, this drop in the main. He's going to get the Spire. Big pick-off here. No more mutas for the time being. He's only got 2 more to make.
Yeah, he's going to sit on 11 for a little bit longer in this game, and that's all he can make until that rebuilds itself.
That's right. He's pushing through the middle while dropping in the main. He's taking out creep tumors, cleaning some Zerg off the map here.
I'm quite surprised there's no 4th base yet by Hydra.
Yeah.
It is very late. Indeed. Just now being placed down.
He's been making so many units, though. He's been spending all of his minerals into making tons and tons of Zerglings, remaking the Spire and getting 2-2. Now, there's the 4th hatchery going down. Oh, some Bio units meeting up with the Mutalisks here, getting an Overseer at the back. Got to be careful of Widow Mines. This 4th hatchery kind of tough to hold against parade pushes.
Yeah, and he's going to have to spread creep down this south position here to really
not much at all.
Maximize his defense.
Yeah, Maru choosing not to push up that part with some juicy creep tumors for him, but he's going to go through the middle again. It's been his stomping ground so far. No changing paths. He's going to switch it up.
All right, this is where it starts to get a little bit difficult when these Widowmines place themselves in this very narrow corridor.
Yeah, Hydra trying to set up a big surround here, big concave. Bailing's being more to the back. A small cluster of Bailings coming in. Maru not really splitting.
There's not that much Terran here.
Yeah, he actually lost a lot of units to the Bailings there. Good connections from Hydra.
And he's got a lot of Zerglings and Bailings.
Does indeed. Oh, God. That Bailing hit a fair bit, but unfortunately, Maru,
20 drone kills killed in the back here, by the way. Notice 20 drone kills.
Yeah, so many drone kills. And it looks like just going to have to switch out until we sort out the spammer situation once more.
Yeah.
But Maru in a spot of bother. He's being pushed back all the way to his third. And Hydra actually dealing with that attack very, very well.
Dealt with the attack very well there, but at the same time, there was a drop on his third that killed 20 drones, which is huge. Maru right now, I think, is in a pretty good position because of that. He's really hurt the economy. 20 drones is a lot.
Yeah.
And he's pushing now, Hydra that is, to the other side of the map, where he's in a bit of difficulty, I think, because it's very hard to break that position when the Terran has 2-2 completed Widow Mines and his rally point still stood out there from his main base. Yeah. He's going to get pushed back from this position, and then he's going to have to fall back to 50 drones from what he dropped from at 70.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't done a whole lot of economic damage to Hydra in this game. He's been pushing back the creep, which is nice, and there's not much creep on the south side of the 4th, which is nice for Hydra. For Hydra, nice for Maru that he's cleaning up the middle. But I mean, at the spot where we've left it, we will resume the game shortly, so don't go away. He's pushing back against Maru, heading into that Terran wall where no doubt there's going to be some Widow Mines waiting and that sort of thing. Hopefully he doesn't lose too much for Hydra fans.
Yeah, but I think there's one good thing we can look at here is Hydra's playing a much better series than True did earlier on. And he's, at this point in the game, he's been able to play a pretty solid game overall, but until we just dropped out of that game there, it was going well until that last couple of moments there. And unfortunately now it's going to become a bit of a difficult game for him, but he's got to stay composed up there. He's showing that he could beat Maru in this series and he could upset him, but at the same time it's still going to be very hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to say that one player is definitely going to win or definitely going to lose, but it's certainly looking a little bit dicey for the Zerg.
Yeah.
The Terran on 3cc with the parade, with the bio push, especially when your macro is generally as flawless as a player like Maru. Yeah. Very tough to deal with that constant pressure that you're going to receive.
And the one big weakness that Hydra's had is maybe it's the Overlord spread, because he's been hit twice by drops while being forced to focus somewhere else, because he's already lost his Spire once because of this drop, and now he's just lost 20 drones because another drop got in. And if it wasn't for those two drops that were going on, it would have been pretty back and forth in the middle of the map, and they would have been trading pretty equally. But these 2 drops have heavily swung the game.
He really needs to do some big damage
Got to stop those.
with his counter attack as well that he's about to jump into. So we're resuming from replay. Great feature. Thank you very much, Blizzard. And
yeah, very close to getting our 8th player, but still a little bit left to go here. As so far, it's been pretty good. The Intel Masters here in Taiwan.
the games have been great. It's a shame that the series, I mean, the games haven't been one-sided. Some of them have been. I mean, Maru True was definitely very one-sided, probably the most one-sided series, probably followed closely by Parting Maru.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're 2-0s, but the games have been quite close for the most part.
Yeah, today's been probably the fastest out of all of the days because of the 2-0s. They've been high-level games, just really one-sided at the same time, unfortunately. But this one, proving that we could go to 3 games, we could go.
Could
and
be
definitely if Hydra, I mean, it's not over yet for Hydra for sure, but there's definitely improvements to make on his side to continue this series.
Yeah, absolutely. Maru actually just needs to keep doing what he's doing. He just needs to not miss any beats, not trade inefficiently. He's got the upgrade advantage. He's got the he's got a ton of units. He just needs to be careful here as he heads in against Hydra. And we are going to start the countdown, get back into the game. So without further ado, we're going to switch back into Maru versus Hydra game number 1, guys. Hope you all are enjoying this series so far. I'm loving these games.
And this attack actually doing a lot more than I thought it would.
Absolutely.
Like we just loaded into it, and it's Maru's lost hold on his 3rd.
Oh my god, I mean, he's killed a lot of drones here, but he's lost 20 SCVs back home. Hydra's counterattack. We were just saying that for Maru to be in a tough spot, the only thing he would have to do is lose a lot to this counterattack, and he just did. 3-3 on the way for him, 2-2 about to finish for Hydra.
Yeah.
And he's trying to resaturate that 3rd. The Widowmine's still not dealt with, but I'm sure it won't take too long.
They are almost ready to detonate again, but the Overseer's there.
There we go.
Speed.
Oof, just in time. It looks like he got a medevac there.
Yeah, he did. He picked off the medevac that put the Widow Mines over there.
Nice pickoffs. Losing medevacs is like the one thing that can slow down the parade pusher. You don't want to lose your medevacs when you're the bio guy. Obviously, the heals the units makes everything a lot easier. It makes it easy to replenish those units. Even if they die, you can just bring the medevacs back home to support your next group. And he's making 12 Marines at a time. No Marauders, but he is starting Thor production, just as I say that, with Widow Mine still coming down.
Hydra, at this point, doesn't have his economy to where he wants it. He's on 60 drones. It's pretty low compared to where he would ideally like to be, but he's adding on more and more units because he knows that if he was to drone up towards to replenishing what he lost earlier, he would be facing a push soon with minimal amounts of units to defend it.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Thors, it's just going to get all the more scary for the Mutalisks. Maru looking like he wants a piece of this 4th again. Apollo is heading towards this lack of creep spread at the bottom here. Plenty of room for him to do some damage. A run by being thwarted by bunkers and Widow Mines here.
There's only 2 Banelings and with 10 being morphed in.
That's right. 2 Banelings connecting there. There is a Marauder that's soaked a little bit.
There's still 2-3 Widow Mines undetonated.
Yeah, that's right. And he can keep pushing onto this hatchery. He's taking his time. He's not overextending here. The Link's coming back, and here's the 3 Widow Mines. Actually connecting with a bit of Maru's units there, but he did get most of the Zerglings. And the reinforcements should be enough to push Hydra back to his creep a little bit. Although that Widow might actually kill the medevac.
Yeah, the Widow Mine killed a medevac there. The Overseer diving in, taking the hit. But still, Maru got a lot of money, got a lot of units still pushing this base.
That's right, and the Thor's here to soak up all the Banelings. Actually, a lot of Banelings just died at a Marauder there, and nothing else took a Baneling hit. And he's got more units on the north attacking the 3rd at the same time.
Yeah,
this hatchery is dead.
Go back to defend that base, and then he's left his 4th exposed.
That's right, and he doesn't want to bring the Mutas down to the 4th because there is Mr. Thor right here. +3 on the way for the Terran attack and defense on the bio, and he lifts up, going into the main here. The Mutalisks are out of position. There's nothing he can do against these medevacs. He doesn't have enough units on the ground.
Yeah, the spawning pool's exposed, and as well as the key structure of the Baneling nest as well.
These Widow Mines attacking into the Mutas. The Thor's still alive. He's trying to take it down. Does get to clean it up here, but
brutal.
GG. Maru taking himself game number 1 against Hydra, but I have to say, a very good fight from our Root Zerg here.
Yeah.
He's the one that's looked the best, or the Zerg that's looked the best against Maru here.
Yeah, he put up a good fight there. But as mentioned, there was a couple of drops here that this guy sneaked in, and it really hurt Hydra. They really, really hurt him.
Yeah. also the run bias from Hydra, getting those lings into Maru's third and also into his natural twice. That kind of messed with Maru's momentum a bit. You see, like, Maru seems like a momentum player where at a certain time he wants to be doing a certain thing. Like, even against Parting, he was doing things like dropping CCs at certain times when you're like, dude, why are you dropping a CC? You're about to lose this game. Yeah. It's a little bit strange, but it makes me think that he's just very mechanical, very methodical, set in his ways. And we're just going to take a short 1 minute break here, maybe 1.5 minutes while we get into game number 2 between Maru and Hydra, guys. Please don't go away. We'll see you soon. StarCraft fans, welcome back. I'm Made Polo, and we're about to present to you game number 2 between Maru and Hydra. Is this going to be our last game of the day?
Yeah.
You feeling like a Maru 2-0 here?
Yeah, I mean, I said it at the start. It feels like that is the case, but I'm really hoping it's not. Would love to see Hydra try to make his way through here, try to make a splash on the international scene. I know he's been putting a name out there for himself recently with joining WCS America, qualifying for Premier League, looking to do well in Premier League. But this is a beast. This player is one of the best Terrans in the world, and he's really been showing it. Unfortunately, got beaten down by Parting, but in his games against Zerg today, he's looked great.
Yeah, he really just doesn't look very stoppable at all in TVZ. But that said, though, Hydra is the one that's come the closest. He's put the damage on Maru, and he's made us sort of go, oh, you know, maybe this could happen. But let's see again, number 2 on Overgrowth. We have got first here, the root player. This is Hydra. And the top right from Jin Green Wings, this absolute monster, the last Terran left in the Intel Extreme Masters Taipei. This is Maru.
So loading onto Overgrowth, being a smaller map of the maps that we have now, especially with new maps coming into play, can lead to aggressive tendencies from both sides. We're not seeing any early proxy coming out from Maru, but I wonder if Hydra would want to lean down the way of some type of Roach Baneling all-in. The problem is, Maru isn't a type of Terran player who is every game going third command center like a lot of others do so robotically.
And I mean, the last time he got Roach Baneling attacks, he batted away so easily that it just really made the game look simple. And yeah, so Hydra just going to go for hatchery first here. He's not scouted for proxies with a drone or anything like that, so he's being he's pretty confident here. He's going to get away with this.
Yeah, he's got a second Overlord, which is pushing in the direction of a potential proxy if it was to the right-hand side here.
Yeah.
But he stopped, so he stopped the Overlord, so he's kind of keeping vision. If the SCV was to come in, then he'd move his drones out.
Indeed, dropping gas before pull as well, so...
Yeah, it would have been risky if there was a 2 racks in play.
Absolutely. Maru, of course, we know he's getting racks gas, so just getting Marine first, though. This isn't Reaper expand.
No, this is what he did earlier on today, where he takes the gas a little bit later compared to the 12, and then he's able to get a couple of Marines, then the reactor, and then he follows it up with an expansion anyway.
Hopefully for Hydra, he doesn't get as many Overlords as he did versus True or Deadwing.
Yeah, and that's the real good thing about Maru's build here, is you can catch the first initial Overlord, You can go Overlord hunting for the second one, and then you can follow it up with a Marine Hellion type of drop play, which he's been using so often.
It certainly will work well for him last time. Has to be getting in here for a first scout of Hydra Town, and it's really just standard Zerg stuff. Not a whole lot to write home about.
Sees the early gas, so we'll keep at the back of his mind that potential early Zergling speed attacks could be dangerous.
Yeah. This natural not too susceptible to giant speedling floods though. It's good. It's pretty defendable for the Terran. It's not like I guess the third of Secret Springs or not Expedition Lost, but you know, back when we had our dream pool Apollo. Did you ever try low ground expanding as a Terran against Zerg?
Yeah, and I lost often.
Yeah.
Lost often.
That's right.
6 slings were built by Hydra, which is not what you want against this type of play if the Marines are at home. But the Marines are out in the open, so he could catch them. But it's more right now Overlord hunting.
Yeah, he is. He doesn't look like he's going to successfully Overlord hunt either. He's not caught in any here.
Yeah, and he's going to go back just in case. These Marines are very exposed out there. He'll join with the 3rd and 4th Marine, which have been made.
Yeah, and once the 5th and 6th one come out, he should be completely fine against these Zerglings. I can't imagine that they get too much damage done to him.
No.
Hydra actually sees that these Marines are moving out.
Yeah, and he may try to run past them.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. He could catch some of the reinforcements. There's only going to be 2 Marines back at home.
Oh, he's coming to maybe protect that Overlords, but
4 Marines with good micro. Good luck.
Yeah.
God, that's so strong. I'm not Reaper opening in TVZ anymore. I'm still doing it. I feel like I'm out of fashion. I'm an old school guy. Oh, he's caught these Marines, and nice stutter step micro from Maru, but he does get cleaned up.
Yeah, so loses 1 Zergling for 4 Marines there. And unfortunately, that kind of weakens Maru's build here, because obviously he would have liked to have had them with this next push out that he's doing with the Medivac, which is on its way.
Yeah, this is a little bit interesting. That reactor is actually not making 2 Hellions at once, as I'm used to seeing. It's making a Hellion and a Widow Mine at the same time, so he's going to load up a dropship with the Widow Mine as well.
Hydra hasn't spotted what exactly he's playing against. The only way he'd know what was going on is if he could tell how many Marines are out there and what this could significantly mean, or if he knows how Maru likes to play this matchup. Right now, he is kind of tucked okay on 2 bases. He's got a pretty decent amount of Queens and a Spine to help. With the layer on its way, it would offer an Overseer soon to be able to protect against the Widow Mine, but this attack, it's going to be on its way shortly.
That's right, and Hydra gets his 3rd gas here. It could possibly go up to 4 with that, with the layer coming down, and he does. Or sorry, he only goes up to 3. He's only got 1 in the main, and takes a 3rd hatchery instead. So this isn't sort of like the counter-aggression Zerg build that we're seeing here. This is a little bit more what we're used to be seeing. The Hellions coming down. Get tapped away by those by the Queens, looking for another opening here with the extra 2 Hellions coming to join. And there's that drop that we were talking about with the Marines and that 1 Widow Mine.
Could do a lot of damage inside this main base to the drone line.
Absolutely, and Hydra, well, you know, the Overlord didn't spot it until just now, so he has to deal with this.
And how much damage is he going to take here? He wants to take as minimal as possible.
Widow Mine dropped again, and it's a nice juicy cluster of Zerglings and drones, but it actually misfires and hits just 1 single drone out in the middle of nowhere.
Queen targeting the Medivac, which is ideally what it wants to do here. Unfortunately, it's so low in health it had to retreat.
Yeah, he did, but the Hellions are heading into the natural, and Maru is actually getting a lot of roasted toasty drone barbecue done here. 13 drones have gone down so far, and that's quite nice. Knocks Hydra down to 39 drones, while being on 38 SCVs himself.
I can't believe that we've seen 16 drones gone down.
Oh my god!
20.
Oh, make it 20. There goes that Widow Mine shot.
21 drones at just before the 9-minute mark.
My god.
Is obviously very bad here for Hydra, and Maru, you know, hits hard again with this strategy that he opens up with so often.
Yeah, when Hydra played Masa in the WCS Challenger for America, he actually took similar amount of drone losses to a Hellbat push by Masa, but he actually fought so long considering how much economic damage he took.
Yeah.
The game came out. But that said though, Masa still did win, and it's not like Masa is Maru caliber. So this is a much scarier Terran with this econ lead that he has to deal with.
The big problem is he has to replenish what he's lost, which slows down everything else. He's slowed down you know, the running of the third base, because in an ideal world, he would be up to 60 plus drones by now, but he's struggling on 50. His evolution chambers were much later than he would have liked them to be as well. He's now supply capped at 78 through this type of pressure and the situation he's been forced
such
into.
Bad supply block.
You know, the bailing nest coming in late as well, only just now being put down, just all these mistakes. And it's almost as you could say that Hydra's crumbling after taking that much damage. And you know, as a Zerg player inside, you feel it. You should never take that much damage, and you know the position you've put yourself in.
5 mutas heading into the main here. 1 turret finishing just in time, and that's enough to deal with the mutas.
Yeah, and with a couple of Marines here with Stim as well, they're not going to do anything.
And this Viking is Overlord hunting, taking more Overlords away from Hydra,
Yeah.
keeping that supply cap. And he's supply blocked again. 92 over the 94. He had to make he's making an extra couple of extractors, but he can't make units.
Those 2 Overlords now, and you know, everyone was very optimistic that we could see Hydra do well, but he's starting to fall drastically behind, super far behind in this game.
Yeah, the Hellions are coming through here. Marines cleaning up some of this creep, actually getting a lot of tumors with 1 scan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice clear up there.
You're just looking for medevacs, any kind of reinforcement, just trying to thin this parade push here from Maru. But, I mean, these banelings are going to need some pretty sick connections, and there's no baneling speed, Apollo, so this is going to be very tough.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Hopefully he clears this up here, but still he needs to get some good trades. 1 baneling to get a lot of damage is an ideal situation.
Some Hellions here are going to help out a lot against the lines of banelings, actually soak up a lot of baneling hits, and Maru needs to pull back.
Yep.
It's a little bit too much, with the mutas helping out as well.
Spread into the high ground to the low ground, hopefully trying to avoid those banelings, which he does.
Yeah,
and it is a trade.
Yeah, so he loses his entire army there, and the trade actually wasn't horrible for Hydra. It was pretty good. Keeps the third hatchery didn't take any damage. He saves 1 medevac. Oh no, this is
yeah, a little bit unfortunate there.
Yeah. So there goes the punch behind his medevac sniping capabilities.
But he's
losing a couple of meters, but he's reinforcing. I mean, look at the resources lost there.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells the tale in this game. This is very one-sided so far.
Hydra's managed to push Maru back for now. That opens up time to take the 4th and to respread the creep, which he's doing very well after losing the majority of it through the middle of the map. He's starting to pick himself back up again, which is what he needed to do.
And he did this with Mars. He's doing it again against this incredible Korean Terran. He's making a game out of a situation where you should die.
Yeah. I think these rocks in the middle between the 2nd and 3rd, by the way, should be broken down by Hydra. Would make it a lot easier for him to engage properly into this.
Yeah, quite possibly right. Looks like he wanted to set up a run by to the 3rd, but he's forced to pull back here as Maru just has a very scary army with Widow Mines heading through towards that 3rd location for Hydra.
Yeah, trying to build as many bailings as you can right now, because you need as much as you can get to be able to stop Maru's army from putting the pressure on.
Yeah, and he's not done here. He's getting a tech lab ready to switch over into Thor's.
Yeah.
And he's switching over to Thor's a lot earlier than the last game as well, so he's going to have, I mean, there's not that many mutas to begin with. When the Thors are out, he's in a lot of trouble.
Only 1 line of creep here to protect his 4th. And 1 scan's going to clear it up as well. This is the perfect position for a Terran to fight. Widowmine's on the ramp on the low ground.
He's got a bit of bio on the high ground, most of it on the low ground here. Baneling's connecting with a couple Marines.
Hydra's setting up a flank.
Yeah, he is.
Or a surround, should I say.
That said, though, reinforcements from Maru do thin it out a little bit. Widowmine's hit pretty good against those Banelings. And he has enough bio on the bottom to pretty much clean this up.
Fantastic Widowmine hits there.
Oh my god, and Maru just has too much. He's going to push forward, and this 4th hatchery's dead.
Yeah, and this is going to sting. That he needed to have a really good fight there and a set of good detonations. Unfortunately, there was a lot of Widowmines. They blew the Banelings up before they could touch these Marines.
Yeah, hatchery does go down. He got a couple mutas there by stimming a few Marines on the left. Hydra's anti-medevac capabilities are not so great. The Banelings connecting mostly on Marauders. Did get a good cluster of Marines, but look at the minimap. There is no end to this parade of Terran, and all the Widowmines are still here as well. The mutas are just thinning in numbers. More go down. Hydra's army supply is dismal. 79, 84 versus the 30. It's just too much Terran. He's scanning forward, he's taking out creep tumors. Banelings are being morphed, 12 Banelings here, 2-2 about to finish, which will certainly be nice.
Yeah, but the Banelings are right there trying to morph, and they're going to go straight into the fight, but that's exactly what Maru wants here.
Yeah, and with that last lot of Banelings, that's going to be GG. Maru gets himself another 2-0 against another Zerg here, moves into the round of 8 with parting from Group D.
Congratulations. We have our 8 players that move on to the quarterfinals. Unfortunately, Hydra was not able to escape the group. where Big Boy Parting was, and also this guy, Jin Air, Green Wings, Maru. A valiant effort, but at the end of the day, I think the two better players here advancing this group is a majority of people expected these two to move through.
Yeah, absolute. Well, I guess that's it for our games today, Polo. But as sad as that is, that means we're going to have the round of 8 tomorrow, which is incredible. Very excited about that. So before we do that, I'm just going to close off the cast and switch over to the desk with Red Eye.
Thank you very much, Maynard. Maynard and Apollo with our final game of the day. Our thanks to them. We are back at the desk. We're going to wrap up not only today, but we're also going to wrap up the entire round of 16 and bring you the draw for the quarterfinals, which will take place tomorrow. All 4 matches in a row, live and exclusive from Taipei and from the main stage as well. Todd, Kalaris, Susie. A final game which kind of was relatively predictable in the end, 2-0, which we've had all day, by the way. All of the Group C games and all of the Group D games have been 2-0. You said it would be Maru. It was Maru. Any unexpected things happening for you in that match?
Not really. I mean,
Yeah.
my heart was with Hydra, and I think it played pretty well, but in the end, you know, I was talking with Snoot during that second game, and Snoot was clearly explaining to me that it was just the early game damage that was dealt to Hydra that put him in a really bad position, and then from there he was going to have to take the sickest fight to be able to come back. Those did not happen, and then from there Maru just steamrolled.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a little bit of time before we go into the quarterfinal draw and look at the round of 8. Let's look back at that. Difficult to point out any surprises really in those 4 groups, Kalaris. I mean, we go back to Group A, which seems an awful long time ago, but it was only yesterday. To get the 2 guys that we got out of that group, pretty much expected. Pole would probably be the only one we might have seen come through Group A.
No.
No. All right. Okay. Fine.
Shut down.
I was trying to make it a little bit more interesting, but all right. Okay. So Hero and Hyun, you thought, yeah, definitely those 2 would come through anyway.
I figured that they were the 2 strongest in the group, and overall across all groups, I figured that it would be going the way it has done. But yeah, it's played out pretty as standard as it could go, I think, for me.
Okay. Group B, Rain and Classic. Your boys.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise. I didn't think Czech was going to do that well, even though he made it out of a very tough open bracket. I was hoping for my boy Harstem to do better, but sadly, you know, they were just too good for him. And I mean, those are world-class Protoss.
Absolutely. So. And then Life and Soul Key today. I mean,
Group C, well, Group C actually for me was probably the wild card group of them all. They all kind of
could have been any of them other than Life. We pretty much had Life.
We knew it was
down.
Life, and then it was going to be a fight for second. But knowing San was just not in top condition, and then, you know, Terran.
What about Terran?
What about Terran, Maynard?
What about Terran, Maynard? Don't give me those puppy dog eyes. Don't give me those puppy dog eyes.
Maynard over at the caster's desk, still sitting there, completely stunned. Apollo's left ages ago, but Maynard still stays like, what on earth is going on?
Well, Terran just advanced.
He did not play very convincingly, and the other players were saying that as well. And so even though Group C could have been anyone for second place, I think Life and Soki definitely the 2 front runners.
I think if there were, this isn't a shock by any means, but if there was a little bit of a surprise, it might have been that Parting topped Group D. We expected him maybe to go through with Maru, but to top it was a little bit of a surprise, wasn't it?
Maybe just a little bit. I'm going to give it that
way. You could have shut me down then. That was an ideal
I was about
opportunity.
to, but I felt bad. I looked at you and I was like, no, you're right.
I'm glad you've got my bag.
Maru was coming into this tournament with a lot of hype.
Yeah.
Parting is definitely one of those big household names. He's won tournaments in the past, so he's also a guy, you know, who definitely could take top 1. And in the end, not too surprised, but yeah, maybe a little bit, you know.
Okay, let's just list this, because I wanna make a point of this. This is the last stop before the World Championship, so there's a lot up for grabs here. 2 spots, $10,000 and 750 WCS points for the winner. These are the 8 players in the quarterfinals: Hero, Hyun, Life, Soulkey, Rain Classic, Parting, and Maru. I'm just like, awesome. Boom!
I mean,
you said their names with a lot of pleasure in your voice.
It's utterly ridiculous that you could have those. I mean, all right, I'm going to arrange this tournament. I'm going to give 10 grand to the winner. I'm going to pick 8 players. I'll have Soulkey, Maru. It's just like that,
it's
isn't
it? It's like a fantasy team,
It is a fantasy team.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is. It's a crazy lineup. let's actually put you out of your misery if you are tuned in, and wherever you're tuned in from, thank you for tuning in. I know it has been a long day and some odd time zones, but it's been well worth it. We've seen some fantastic games in the round of 16, and I think we might just see some terrific games tomorrow. And these are the games you're going to watch tomorrow. The quarterfinals look like this. Our round of 8 starts with Parting versus Classic. Brilliant matchup between those two, PvP of course. Hyun will take on Life in an all ZvZ, and that is the upper half of the quarterfinals. At the bottom half, we'll have the defending champion CJ Enters Hero playing Maru in his first ever Intel Extreme Masters, and Solkey versus Rain, the 2013 Hot 6 Cup final, repeated amongst those two Koreans. Let's start at the top, Parting Classic. I'm not sure Parting's going to be particularly happy with that. Last two meetings with Classic have gone his way. They've played fairly recently as well. Classic won that one as well. So I don't know if Parting's going to be too happy with that, Todd, is he?
Probably not. He's doing pretty well against
all of the players
Zerg.
that he could have played, might not have wanted to play Classic, really.
Yeah, not only the player is playing, but also the race, PvP.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tricky match for him. And Classic, even though he lost to Rain, showed a lot of good things in the matchup.
Yeah, definitely. And Hyun versus Life is our second game. I'm not entirely convinced that Hyun's going to be happy with that one either, or Life for that matter, really. I'd imagine Life's probably like, he doesn't care, I don't care who I play, whatever. But Hyun in particular is going to look at that and think, oh,
there was
not really what I wanted out of that one.
There was a moment in history where Hyun was extremely good at Zerg versus Zerg and really on top of the world, but those days have kind of passed, and going up against Life is going to be very, very difficult, because Hyun thrived in a metagame where it was pure Roach only, but that's kind of changed nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's not just that can come to the table.
Looking back on their history, actually, Life has 6 wins to Hyun's 3 in matchups, and it's 19-11 in maps, and Life has won the last 2 meetings 4-0 and 2-0. That doesn't bode well for Hyun tomorrow, does it?
No, but I mean, as we've seen, sometimes statistics really don't matter.
Yeah.
So
Life
hopefully,
doesn't care about
Life
them.
doesn't care about stats at all.
But they're all that matter to Paul. Because you
Maybe.
keep bringing them up.
Well, it's all I've got, really, isn't it? Let's face it.
No. I mean,
Come
I
on.
think stats are great. They do show consistency in history, of course, but history can be changed, and stats are good to go off of,
Give
but
us
nothing
give us
to.
a little bit of a guide.
Right.
The bottom half of the draw looks like this. Mr. Hero has a very interesting draw here against Maru. Now, these two have played an awful lot in the past, mostly in Pro League, it has to be said. But Hero's never lost a best of 3 to Maru, but he has lost plenty of times in Pro League, 3 times, in fact. They're 3-3 in Pro League. So, very difficult to call between the two of them. But does the defeat for Maru today against Parting actually help Hero?
Well, sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the round of 8 is best of 5s, right?
It is.
So I think that Hero probably has a good chance here in best of 5. I think he has a legit shot. I think as much as Maru is Maru, Hero always somehow seems to bring it at these tournaments.
Yeah, he does.
So I think Hero will do well.
His favourite. And we'll finish off with Solkey in the last game against Rain, which I'm not even I'm a Terran
cool.
player and a
That's
Terran fan,
cool.
but I am absolutely really looking forward to that match. Those two playing each other, that style and the way they play, and the fact that it's just going to be fantastic.
I will say this right now, Solkey, the 2 people he wanted to avoid, the 2 people that he just did not want to be placed in with, or Hero and Rain.
And he's
it
got
looks
both
like
of them in his
he
half.
needs to go over both if he wants to win this.
If we can just have a look at the bracket one last time. There's one thing that strikes me here, and I'm not being mean to the guys in the upper half, but the lower half looks harder.
This looks pretty ridiculous.
It does
stacked,
look much harder. So, I don't know. I mean, you could end up with Parting and Life and Maru and Solkey, and then, okay, you probably say, well, that's ridiculous, both sides. But it just seems a little bit harder for the guys on the bottom half of the
you
bracket.
look at it, you say Life is the favourite of the upper bracket.
Yeah.
I would say the upper part.
Yeah.
And then
But
you
there
look
isn't
at the bottom, and
there
then you're
isn't
like,
a clear one, is there, on the bottom one?
yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I just want to come back to the last game that we've got, Solkey versus Rain. Those two, for me, epitomized the idea of Kesper's transition into StarCraft 2 from Brood War. So to see them play again, maybe not at the very peak of where they once were during 2014, but now, that match for me is utterly fantastic.
They were both on SKT1, and now they're playing foreign teams.
Absolutely,
So.
yeah. So
We could have.
It's got that in there. It's got the Hot 6 Cup from 2013 in there. There was a 4-2 win in that particular tournament for Reign, but it's 9-9 matched up against the two of them as well.
Very
so
cool.
I think that is perfectly
To
set
end
as
the
our
day on as
final
well.
game of the day.
Yeah.
It's
as well.
quite crazy that
Can't
we
be
could
better.
have the rematch of the finals of San Jose in
Yes,
semi-finals
we could.
this time. I was
Yeah,
kind of hoping
yeah.
they would be on opposite end of the bracket to see
Yeah.
if they could make it again.
Make the second one in a row.
But this time it will be in the semi-finals.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, I just realized there's a lot of ex-SKT players.
Yeah.
is.
Not a bad team, was it?
Not a bad team at all.
They shouldn't let anyone go.
I
Still not a
know,
bad
they like
team.
let them go, and they're all just like, okay, we're just gonna go win international tournaments now.
Yep. That's how it works. Go
The
to
reunion.
SKT and then go and win lots of money elsewhere. So I'm going to ask you for your predictions at this point. You're down to 8, so it's a little bit easier. But it's a tough call on all 8 of them. Susie, what do you think?
Oh, why are you
Who-
starting with me? You
who's
can't
the-
start with me.
Who's the winner?
No, don't do this to me.
All right, Todd.
Let's start with Todd. Let's start with Todd.
Do you want me to
Gave
be?
in.
It's to me, honestly, when I saw the bracket, I basically said Parting Life and Hero Reign,
Yeah.
and then Life Reign in finals
Really?
with Reign as a winner.
Ooh.
Oh.
And Roddy's gonna be the happiest
Oh.
Protoss.
You're channeling the spirit of Rotterdam here. Jeez.
Yeah. Or what? So what do you think? Is it? Are we going to get a Protoss winner?
I think Hero and Life are going to end up in the finals, and I think Life's going to win.
Okay.
I think he looks
I mean, before
so
you-
solid right now.
Before you choose, Susie, as well, I'm going to give you an extra stat because I
Okay,
like stats, obviously.
okay.
There's only been 6 winners in 24 Intel Extreme Masters that have been Zerg. Only 6. 8 for Protoss, 10 for Terran.
Yeah, that's a quarter.
I'm torn between
That's 50%, says Todd.
Hero and Parting,
Okay.
and I really don't know, but I'm gonna go with Hero.
To be fair, none of us know.
None of us
really.
know, but
I know.
For
Doesn't
me,
really
for me, it comes down to Hero. Okay, Hero, Reign, or Parting, and then one of those 3.
Not Life? Okay, first you hate Terran, and now you say that Life won't win the tournament. You're losing fans by the second on this show.
I
so
am.
picked 3
You know
Protoss.
what? I will tell you this right now. I've been a Protoss player since Brood War.
And now it comes out.
Now it comes out. I'm sorry, guys. I try to keep it a secret.
Why
all
do you
this time.
apologize? Be proud.
But yeah, you can now. You can be proud now.
Oh, yeah? Is that
It's-
okay now?
It's pretty cool to be Protoss these days, I think.
I think you're
So I'm
lying to
told.
me.
Yeah, no, I think it's okay. Thank you very much, Susie, Kalaris, and Todd, and of course our other 2 commentators, Maynard and Apollo. That is it from day 3 of Taipei's Intel Extreme Masters. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. local time for the quarterfinals, and boy, you do not want to miss it. It's going to be an absolutely astounding day of StarCraft 2 action tomorrow. The last man that was a Zerg and won an Intel Extreme Masters was Life. Can he make it 2? We'll find out tomorrow. We'll see you then.